A cupcake with bright frosting appears against a white background. It hops forward and gasps as it discovers 3 muffin pans that exactly look like braille cells. 7 more brightly colored cupcakes appear. At the whistled command of the original cupcake, hop into the various muffin holes to form the braille letters TBK. The muffin tins are replaced by the Blind Kitchen logo, green braille letters TBK on a white background. Fade to black.
Hello, and welcome to The Blind Kitchen. I'm your host, Deborah Erickson, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the slicing guide.
Deborah is wearing jalapeno pepper earrings. She is wearing a white chef coat, a forest green apron with the Blind Kitchen logo.
Your slicing guide has a plastic handle and a number of stainless steel prongs extending from that handle. Its purpose is to cut foods into even size slices. The reason it is adaptive for low vision and blind people is that knife skills take many of hours to acquire. Even if you have a patient teacher who can give you feedback as to how you're doing and give you tips on how to correct it, it can take a very long time. This tool lets you take the guesswork out of the thickness of knife cuts when you are cutting your food into consistent size pieces. I have in my hand a yellow summer squash that I am wanting to cut into equal size slices because I want to make a shish kebab, and I want to make sure they are all cut into equal slices so they cook evenly. This is where your slicing guide comes in. What you want to do is to take the slicing guide and put it through the food. Foods such as yellow squash, which are round, tend to roll around. When this goes through the food and goes all the way to my work surface, I can then safely grasp it by the handle, and the food is not going to roll around anymore because the prongs are holding it steady. Now I'm going to take an extra precaution here, and I'm going to put on my cut glove because when I go to use this, I am going to take my knife blade and guide it into each section of these holes. Now the best knife to use for this one, I'm not sure yet. It may be a paring knife and it may be my other knife, which is located safely in my sharps basket here. So I'm going to, wearing the cut glove on my non-dominant hand, I am going to use my chef's knife and I'm going to guide the tip of it. My cut glove are making sure the tip is there into the first space between the end of the squash, and I'm going to cut straight down. Now, because this one has a rounded end, that won't be one I use. So I'm going to check out the size of the widths of these, and I'm going to say, do I want to go every one? But I think I want them a little thicker, so I'm going to run my knife blade through every other one, and that'll make them consistent sizes. So I'm going to go, I have the tip of my blade at the edge of the guide, and I put it into one, and now I'm sliding over one more into the other. I'm going to hold the squash in place, keep my fingers safely out of the way, and cut through. Now, I'm going to be careful to come back up to the cutting guide. I can pull this one out. So I found the space that I want. I have my knife tip in there. I'm keeping my fingers safely out of the way, and I'm going to cut through the squash and go straight down, following the guide. Now I can feel it's on the work surface. I'm going to finish cutting it all the way through and actually move the slicing guide that is still in the food away from the slicing guide, and I'm going to use my hand to make sure that I pull off this perfect thick piece of food. This is painstakingly so, I get it. But if you want consistent pieces without worrying about trying to see it, this is an excellent tool to make that happen. Caring for your slicing guide is easy. It's made of stainless steel and high-quality plastic, so it can be run through the dishwasher or you can hand wash if you prefer. To store it, as with all items that could potentially break the skin, you want to make sure that you know where the tongs are at when you put it in your drawer. So when you go to reach for it, the first thing you're going to touch is the handle and not find the ends of the prongs. So thank you for being a member of the Blind Kitchen community. We hope that the slicing guide will help you to fabricate foods so they have consistent cooking times as well as an attractive presentation. Happy cooking.
She smiles towards the camera. Fade to black. The Blind Kitchen logo appears. Fade to black. Neo Creative Productions logo appears. The logo fades to black.